It's Mom and Pop Video Shop.
Welcome.
I like how Matt Foley in here right as he starts.
And a man down by the river. All right, welcome to Mom and Pop Video Shop. I am Joel.
I'm Tyson.
He is. I can vouch for it. We are here to discuss a movie, but you just came in and you're desperate. You're like, man, I need something just so intense.
Apparently you're tweaking.
You're like, man.
I was going to say you were outside with a girl on Domino's in a 1994 Pro, but you're probably out there with a shopping cart and a piss jug.
It's possible. So we have the movie for you, my tweaking friend. And that is from 1980.
Okay. I gotta let me guess.
Okay.
I sucked this
You've
round,
seen it? I know, because you actually brought it up to me.
I did.
I'll tell you one thing.
Is it horror?
This movie, no, it's not. Well, it's a horrific idea, I guess you could say. But it's more of a dramatic movie thriller with some action elements. I'd say this movie, if anything, gives you like a truly great yeast infection, a rye cooter.
Southern Comfort.
The guy's name. I love that guy's name so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I literally, I listened to that the whole way. I would listen to Rye Cooter the whole way here.
Yeah. So,
Cool.
If you know, you know.
This gotta be. Man, we're gross on this channel today.
So you know that number we keep striving for subscribers? We can't understand why it keeps going the other direction. All right.
I'm gonna apologize for who I am, though.
Enough. Hell no.
If you're here and you're still here,
then you're our people. We're good. We're good. All right.
This is a good one, though. Let's do it.
Perfect partner to Deliverance, which, by the way, is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's a
movie.
good assessment.
Yeah. 9 National Guardsmen enter the Louisiana swamp for routine training, but an error in judgment by one of the team incites an all-out war with some angry Cajuns who know the territory like the backs of their hands. Armed with a precious few bullets and confused by the dimly lit, moss-covered maze into which they've stumbled, the Guardsmen know they'll be picked off one by one until they come up with a solution using the only resource they have left, their wits. Okay, so this movie stars, was it David Carradine? Fred Ward. Oh, he's so great. Lewis Smith from Heavenly Kid.
Powers
Boothe, who Red Dawn and Frailty and a bunch of other excellent movies. Brian James plays one of the Cajuns.
Yeah.
Who am I forgetting? There's a couple other great actors in this.
He was good.
T.K. Carter from The Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about
Franklin
him.
Seals, who is the, what do I know him from? Was he on the show Benson? Or like a show like that?
I don't know. I don't think I ever watched Benson.
Crap, I don't remember. I feel like he was in like he was on some kind of sitcom in the 80s and or 90s, which Benson was in the 90s. If you know, in the comments below, but I'm pretty sure that was who it was. Anyway, all that to be said, this movie, if you've seen Deliverance, is very much in that vein.
Yeah.
I had seen this years and years and years ago. You mentioned you were watching, which is why I thought you were going to cover it at some point.
I didn't have it, or I would have covered it.
Oh,
sure.
See, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I ended up actually ordering it, thinking you might cover it.
Oh, okay.
And then I was like, oh, well, I figured.
No, I'm glad you picked this one, though, because
Yeah.
I just watched this for the first time a month ago.
Yeah, it's I love, this is a movie, first of all, I love Walter Hill, who directed this. I think he wrote it and directed it, if memory serves. Written by Michael Caine, not that one. Walter Hill and David Giler, who, by the way, worked on Alien, I believe, together and produced.
Well, and I was going to say,
Tales from the
interestingly
Crypt.
enough, this has a little bit of like Dog Soldiers tone
Yes,
too. Where,
that's another good.
You know
Yes, yes, and I could see it'd be interesting to.
So it's interesting that you picked
to
that.
ask Neil Marshall if that was ever like an impact or an influence, because you could definitely see that. So all that being the case, I love this movie. Rewatching it, and again, it is a slow burn. Like in my head, I thought it was more intense, and so because like conceptually and thematically, there's something about survival stories, especially with the men who maybe think they're badder ass than they actually are, and put themselves in these really sketchy situations. And I find the stories, or like Hills Have Eyes, like that idea of like regular people pushed into a survival situation.
But I feel like Hills Have Eyes is not a slow burn.
No, it's
if I'm
not.
being honest with you, I kind of feel the same way about Deliverance too.
Deliverance is, but weirdly, I don't know why
yeah.
that's never bothered me with Deliverance. It didn't bother me this time. One thing it did jump out at me that I forgot, 'cause I have not seen this movie probably in 15, 20 years. Most of the cast, I mean, not cast, because they're fine. They're all amazing. The characters are assholes.
Yeah.
Like, across the board. Like,
having spent a little time in the National Guard myself, though,
it's not that far off the
I
mark.
can vouch for the fact that,
Yeah, and who plays their like commanding officer? Do you remember? I can't remember. There's like a commanding officer. I feel like it's an actor that's known, but I'm just brain.
Oh yeah.
If it comes to you, but basically, like the guys that end up like surviving by the end. Now, one of them, I say one of the guys in the crew, because I don't want to say who lives and dies like as it progresses, because they kill off
a lot of people die.
A lot of people die in this movie.
Yeah.
Powers Boothe character, for instance, though, he's probably the most heroic and likable in a way. And he's a dick, but he's like, you get why he is, and he's
Well, here's the thing.
like the
If there
most
was-
decent guy.
If there was anybody in this entire, it's too small to be a platoon. Let's call it a squad.
Okay.
Of 9 guys, whatever.
Yeah.
If there was anybody that had a like single shred of like,
For those that
almost
don't
like-
know, real quick, like me, what's the difference between a platoon, a squad, and a unit? Is there any difference?
units, whatever, but a platoon is usually 25, 30 people made up of 3 or 4 squads.
Okay, got it.
And then a team is usually 3 or 4 guys within a squad.
Okay,
You
a
have
unit
squad
is what
leader.
like idiots who don't know what the hell they're talking about say.
Yeah.
Okay.
You say like the unit, you know, we would refer to the unit as like company, which is made up of multiple platoons.
Got it.
And multiple companies make up a battalion, multiple battalions make up a brigade, multiple brigades make up a division.
How many divisions in an army?
Off the top of my head, I don't remember right now.
I was curious if you said that's not how it works, idiot.
No, but I mean, there are X amount. I don't know how many divisions are in the current
Okay.
use, but anyway,
I get it.
The point is,
It's more of a squad.
you got
based on what
9
you're
guys, and none of them were like decent enough to
No.
prevent the inciting, event.
talking- Yes. Yes.
From happening.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know what I mean?
Yes.
So that.
But I also I worked construction for a while in the late 90s, and the way some of those guys act was very relatable to my experiences doing that job.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like if you're the Powers Boothe character and you're kind of like, you get the impression he's like a kind of a family man, homebody,
Mm-hmm.
fairly reserved, doesn't want to be partaking in their plans to go, hit the town and the ladies of the night and all that stuff. I was was not nearly as cool as Powers
I
Boothe.
forgot about that part.
Yeah,
There's a whole
but like I could relate to him the best because I remember being on guys who were more like that.
But if you remember, like he was assigned to that unit because this is Louisiana National
He's
Guard. He was
Texas.
from Texas.
Yeah.
But it's because he got kicked out, I think. Or
so
something,
they never
right?
go. What I love, they never like fully go into it. I don't
so
think
he's already like that anti-hero. sort of, You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He
he's
has a
my favorite
backstory.
character.
He
He's
has a
my favorite
history.
character. David Carradine. See, what's weird is David Carradine's character, I thought, was the hero. Like in my head, because if you look at the boxes stuff, he's, along with Powers Boothe, he's like, front and center. And he does have a good arc because he starts up pretty douchey and ends up in a better place. So yeah, it's just, I think that was the thing is that threw me with 2 things. One, I thought the characters in my memory were that at least a couple were more likable, and maybe just as I've gotten older, I'm like, you guys are dicks. But also, it took longer to get to certain points that I thought I remembered.
Yeah.
So it's like I think it's a fantastic film. Like I legit, because there's nothing I think Walter Hill's ever made that I'm like, oh, I hate that movie. But I don't think it's my favorite Walter Hill movie. But conceptually, I love it because I love where it is and what's happening.
It's disturbing on the same level, I think, is well.
I feel like Deliverance is more intense. Like Deliverance is a little bit more intense. This is shocking, and it just.
I love the thing about this though is it's that trope of don't think just because you have a badge or a uniform or whatever that
like they're different. Like in the trailer, they talk about the rules that they didn't know existed, and that's why I like I said that backcountry sort of like it's a different law.
And there's still people out there they don't give a shit about your badge or your uniform or whatever.
No,
like, you're in
their territory,
you're in their world.
And I think I told you this, but you told me you saw it. Like it was a movie I remember because my dad's side of the family, they were very like poor. Southern, like his dad came from like North Georgia. His mom was from Louisiana though, like the Bayou. Her maiden name was Chalet.
Was she Cajun?
Oh, dude. The only picture I
Like
ever
you couldn't understand a word she
No,
said.
she just had a thick accent. But no, everything was over yonder, like that. But but her mother, which is the reason where the whole like Cherokee thing comes in. Like if you see her mom, she's at least 50% Cherokee. But I think her dad was like a Frenchman. The only picture I ever saw that guy, he's Belloc. Like he's white linen from like the 20s, white linen suit, the hat. I believe died of syphilis.
Right.
Apparently, we may all be related for all I know, because apparently that dude loved the ladies. He had like 10 kids with my great grandmother. But I remember my nanny, that's what we called my grandmother, Naomi Icy Chalet was her name.
Nice.
But she would tell us about like, growing up in this like the bayou and and she didn't have like that thick like, do declare, it wasn't like that. But
like foghorn leg.
Yeah, or like, do you remember the chef from back in the day? What was his name? It was where the suspenders, he'd like,
Paul Prudhomme?
Yeah, was it, I'm going down there, make all the, no. We still watching him. In college and stuff.
I watched a Paul Prudhomme cookbook.
Oh, that's cool.
I love Cajun. I love Cajun culture.
Yeah.
Music.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My dad loves Zydeco. And as a kid, I didn't like it at all. It's grown on me though over the years. There's a lot of
the idea of being able to go out in the middle of a swamp and live there by yourself.
Yes, that is knowing you. That doesn't shock me.
You know what I mean? And when the law comes into your bayou,
you just take it into your own hands.
That you heard it here first, folks. I will probably end up. I'll be a national.
And also,
incident.
just so you know, Mom and Pop Video Shop may be changing its focus and its reach on more like the survivalist prepper community in coming weeks. But anyway, what was funny is though they use like real folks for that scene where they're in like the little village.
Yeah,
those are real people.
See, and that
wasn't actors, right?
How could they have?
No,
not?
but and I think I've told you this before, but the funniest part was the first time I watched this. I'd always see pictures, like I knew I was with my grandmother, I'd met many of her brothers and sisters, and again, there was like 10 of them. And I remember seeing lots of pictures of people. And when they're like going across like some of the people there, I'm like, holy crap. Like, I was like, I'm pretty confident we're related. And let's just say, the tree may not branch off too far if you get my drift. But it was so weird. Like, everything you watch that going like,
yeah.
You look like people I might be related to. So all that being said, maybe I would survive. Maybe I could just be like, please don't kill me. I think I might be one of you. Right. So all that being said, for me, Southern Comfort, it's my knee jerk is to say is the experience of watching it is a 3.
I was gonna say 3
because I want to say 4. That's what's messed up. This is kind of like my Usual Suspects all over again, but in like one extra number.
In my opinion, if anything bumps this to a 4, and I'm not making a joke here, it's Ry Cooder and the theme song.
The theme song, yes. Because Ry Cooder bumps anything.
It feels like it doesn't. It shouldn't fit. It's another one of those like
his name sounds like a really stupid rednecky way to refer to. Ain't nothing like Ry Cooder. So stupid. Anyway,
better than sourdough. Not quite as good as multigrain.
Not good as good as pumpernickel. So anyway, yes, the music is great. It's got like the Zydeco and all. It's also got that just where they really captured the culture, I think, of that area really well. But yeah, it's a good movie. Oh, freaking Predator, the Indian.
Sonny Landham?
He's one of the Cajun guys.
No,
yes,
I didn't
is.
know that.
Yes, Sonny. That's one of the names I was trying to remember. Sonny Landham is yes, he's like the one of the main ones.
I had no idea.
Him and Brian James are like the two.
Brian James, I knew.
Yeah, because they show him more on screen, but Sonny Landham is more from a distance. But like towards the end,
where's he plays a cop.
What was it? Fifth Element, Blade Runner.
No Blade Runner. Tango and Cash.
Horror show, which I think was technically House 3. He's been in so much stuff.
Yeah, he played it. Anyway.
Yeah, but
I feel like it was
I
feel like it was a Chuck Norris movie.
R.I.P. Mr. James, you were great. Anyway, all that being said, it's a 3. I feel like
can you imagine what a bitch this was to make, though?
Oh my god!
Like I think about
I watched some of the interview. They interviewed David Geiler and
the special features.
And Walter Hill.
Yeah.
And it was a nightmare. Like it was a legit because it was cold. They had to do it when it was cold to avoid the snakes and alligators and everything, and it was just miserable. Apparently, it was until weeks and weeks.
I can imagine
weeks. God, yeah. But it's a great. I mean, visually, it's great. It is a great movie. It's a 3 only insofar as. That means I would have rented it, kept it through the weekend.
Yeah, I agree.
And returned it.
Not a bad movie at all. No, totally worth it.
It's
totally worth
100%. So anyway, let us know in the comments below. Do you enjoy Southern Comfort? Do you enjoy Ry Cooder? the music. Come on, get your mind out the gutter. I love that we just revert to.
Oh no, I do.
I love raccoon. All that being said, subscribe, or if you subscribe after all that, holy crap, you're a great person. And try the Phantom Foundry.
Right. Where we may or may not have a Rycooter candle.
Oh my God. We're not going there. Not going there. I don't want to know. I don't even want to know. You put it right next to your basic bitch.
My basic bitch, yeah. Rycooter and basic bitch.
Yep.
Exactly.
So,
check it out though.
PhantomFoundryWax.com. And so I guess on that note, then, here at Mom and Pops, our love of
The Legend of Boggy Creek. Good. We need to do I Love Legend.
Yeah.
Boggy Creek too.
Never stops.
Ever.